Hi guys, I just got a question. They asked, my mom died, my dad died, my sister died, are they at peace? And my answer is very easy. Yes, they've never been at so much peace as when they had left this world to the other world. I believe profoundly, but this is my belief, that when the body dies, the soul and the spirit goes home. There's no drama. We stand for drama in our life. Our physical life is full of drama, is full of anxiety, is full of worries and all sorts of things, and how we want the life to be. When you pass to the spirit world, all this goes away. You're just one with the spirit world, with the God force, or whatever you want to call it. That's my belief. This is a philosophy. No one can prove it. We all have different things that we believe in. But the mind, you see, is a very strange thing and a very powerful tool. And I believe the mind can create enormous things if you trust it. The power we actually have if we believe in ourselves is limitless. But we are a physical being in a physical body. So we trap ourselves quite a lot into that one. And we also have our indoctrination to think about. We have our schooling and all sorts of things. So we actually more or less get in a box. And this is how you think. This is how life is, so to speak. I don't actually believe that we can even comprehend what happens when we die. I think I have so many theories. I have so many thoughts about it. And I don't believe it's that easy that, when you die, you go through the Akashic Records, who's supposed to be your life stories and so on. I don't think there isn't even books in the spirit world. Why do you need a book to read? We do, human beings. I believe you have access to everything that you want to have access to, because your soul and your spirit doesn't have boundaries. And I believe that you can access anything that is needed for you to develop and move forward, so to speak. That's just my thoughts. Who knows, agree to disagree, like I always say, because I find this very interesting. But what saddens me a lot is that religion, foremost, has put a lot of fear in people. Like, for example, if you take your own life, you couldn't be buried in a normal cemetery. You have to be buried outside it because taking your own life was shameful. You didn't do that. You was not a good Christian or whatever. And I don't believe that either. I believe everybody receive tender loving care, whatever they've been through in their life. And if you take your own life, I believe you get even more tender loving care because you had a shitty life and you probably need to be pampered a little bit extra maybe. I don't know. But if you have had a good near-death experience, because it's a little bit different to a near-death experience and a clinical death, as they say. And if you have a near-death experience, depending on your religion and your belief system, you can have a lot of different ideas and experiences. Usually we in the Western world, we meet the angels, we meet Jesus and so on. If you go to the Eastern country, they don't have angels like Archangel Michael and Gabriel and all them. They have Buddha, for example. They have a different mindset with what they've grown up with. And your mind, if you're not clinical death, it will interfere. And it will try to understand what's happening probably. And your mind will probably color your experience. But I do believe that if you have a lot of fear, you might feel a lot of fear as well. If you don't have fear, you might just feel love. I have had a slight near-death experience, not in an accident or anything. I just left my body once. And it was the most peaceful thing I ever experienced in my own life. I also have had a lot of terrible dreams, which I now come from my subconscious, who tries to understand what is going on. I also believe that the mind is so powerful, and I can I can't prove it now, but at the time, I have a phobia of creepy crawlers, spiders, little bugs and things. And I had a huge nightmare once where a spider came from above somewhere and went down and trapped me in my back and my spine and twisted itself. The day after, when I woke up, I didn't realize when I woke up of the fear, but when I was looking in the mirror, I had a big bruise there. So I believe the mind and the power of the mind can create so much that we don't understand. And that also tells me that if you have negative thoughts, if you think low about yourself, you're not going to feel very well within yourself, are you? And I was lucky enough to have an ex-father-in-law, which they told me, or they told him when he was, I think, 14 years old, that you probably have 10 years to live. He lived, I think he was 62 when he died. And I never met such a brave and positive person in my whole life. Of course, he has his moments where he's not that, yay, everything is fabulous. He was in a wheelchair. He had a horrible disease. But he played his instrument, his music towards the end. And I believe that was the power of the mind. And in all honesty, you can actually look and see at people if they've been very bitter and negative through their life, because it takes its toll in his face. It really does. And it's so sad because we have a choice every day. And I'm not saying I'm the most positive person in the world all the time. I'm not. But I'm aware what I'm creating within myself. And if I'm saying to myself, oh my God, I have to do the shopping today. This is going to be an awful day. And I have to go visit that person. And I have to go to the chemist. And I have to do this. Oh, this is going to be a hard day. It will be a hard day. And I will be drained afterwards. But if I tell myself, I'm going to get to the chemist, I'm going to get my medication, I'm going to go shopping so I can have some nice food in my fridge, so I can choose and pick whatever I fancy when I'm packaged, I have a different attitude. And the day will also have a different outcome. So the mind is a powerful thing. And if you train it to work for you, not against you, you will have a different life. I promise you. I have a different life because I'm changing my mind all the time. And I've also learned myself to be aware when my mind is going into negativity. I look at myself, I do some breathing exercises or whatever, and try to come back to myself. And I always look at the situation. If something has happened, can I do something about it? If I can't, don't waste your energy on it, Mia. Don't waste your energy, because it will just hurt me even more. It's easier said than done, but by practice over the years, I don't have anxiety for a week now when something happens that is out of my control. It maybe takes 8-12 hours. I'm working through it. I'm talking to myself. I'm talking and I'm listening. Try to look at it objectively. And if I had my son, I have 2 sons. If I had my son in front of me and the same episode have happened in his life, what would my advice be? Because I want my children the best. And there I can look at what would the response be towards me, because I want the best for me as well. So remember, your mind can be your best friend or your worst enemy. Bye for now.